Bow, bow, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Hello there. Hi, friends. Thanks for hanging out. I'm a few minutes late, but we're actually right on time, aren't we? Yes, definitely. Hi, I am Mary Chia, Education Ambassador of the Year for CND, the world leader in nails, fashion, and beauty, if you can see that. And I'm also the founder of the AbundantNailTech.com, which is the place to be to build a salon life and the business that you love and you want. That sounded better in my head earlier today, but anyways, thank you for joining me for another episode, another session of Q&A Thursday, where you get to ask any questions about nails or the nail biz, and I do my very best to give you an answer. Now, I do have one for you today. This one comes from a couple of people, actually. A couple of people, Tina and Chanel, asked how they can use social media to build a clientele if they don't do nail art. So how do you build a client? How do you use social media to build a clientele if you don't do nail art? This is super common. I think, this kind of goes back to that whole comparison-itis thing that happens on social media, and it definitely, it happens in life, but it happens with business too. So you go onto Instagram or something like that, and you're searching a hashtag for maybe like 4th of July nails, which just happened, and you see a bunch of really cool stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything like that, right? These people must be so super busy. And they probably are really, really busy, but it's really difficult to use social media to build your clientele if this is the place where you come from. So I like social media a lot. I really love Instagram and I really love Facebook, and I think if you focus properly, you can use Instagram and Facebook to grow your salon clientele, even if you don't do nail art. And basically, two things here, okay? You have to focus on yourself. Okay, when you are promoting your business, you have to focus on promoting your business, okay? I've said this before. The drawing factor, the factor that attracts people to you and keeps your clientele in your business, it has a little bit to do with your skill, right? It has a little bit to do with your skill set and like what you do, but really the main selling point of your business is you. And that is what is going to keep your clientele and to build your clientele, number one, above anything else, above anything that you can post on Instagram or Facebook. It doesn't matter how much money you sink into ads, you are what's going to build your clientele. Your personality, your service, all of that stuff. You, okay? So that said, if you want to build your clientele, then use your strengths. Talk about your strengths on Instagram and talk about your strengths on Facebook. What do you like to do? What services do you like to do? What services do you do very well? And speak to that. So if, say, if you love manicures and pedicures, then talk about that and take pictures of your manicures and your pedicures and explain the process. If you are really good at creating a salon, like a really nice salon experience for people, that is a really big selling point, because a lot of people go to get their nails done not necessarily just to have, like cute nails or anything like that. It's to be pampered, and it is to have an experience, even if it's just for an hour, every other week. Okay? So those are really important selling points, and those are all things that are really unique to you. Okay? So that's the first thing. So know what you like and know what you're good at, and you are going to attract the people who want that in their salon service, in their salon service experience. It's natural. The other part of that is to be clear about your ideal client. Okay, so like, who are you trying to attract? If you don't like doing nail art, do you really want to post a bunch of nail art so that a bunch of clients who are looking for nail art come and find you? No. right? Because you're just going to be stressed out. You're going to be stressed out when they come in with their Pinterest ideas, and you're going to be stressed out when you're doing their nails, and then you will probably be stressed out when you ask them for money at the end of the service, okay? So being really clear about what you like and communicating that and communicating what you do well to these ideal clients who are also looking for the same thing will really help to cut down that whole like weird misalignment confusion that can happen when you aren't clear about that. So what kind of clientele do you want? You know, is there a specific age group or a specific profession or maybe a specific availability? I know a lot of people think that they want to attract, you know, working women, professional women. But the thing about professional women is they have a limited availability, and a lot of times you have to work evenings if this is the clientele that you want to attract. Okay, so it's just a little thing to think about. So when you have the answers to those two questions, what you do well, what you like to do, so the you side, and then your client side, who's your ideal client, that whole little picture there, you might even actually, speaking of ideal clients, you might even actually have a client already who is your ideal client, and that would be really cool because you can actually talk to her and get her input about what to post. But if you're starting from scratch, know what you like, know what you do well, what you want to offer, and then who you want to offer it to, okay? And post on your Instagram and on your Facebook as if you were speaking to that person directly, okay? So when I post for my salon Instagram, I have a special person in mind. Her name is Jen, and she's actually imaginary. she's actually like my real client Karen, but with a few different tweaks. And so she's an imaginary person named Jen. So when I post my salon on my salon Instagram, which just is linked to my Facebook, to my salon Facebook, I pretend like I'm posting something just for her. So to me, in my mind, Jen wants to see pictures of nails, and she wants personality. So the captions are really, really important in that, because that's another thing that a lot of people don't use when they are trying to attract their clients. It's the actual captions, okay? So I said before in the beginning that you and your personality are what's going to attract and build your perfect clientele, right? So the captions in an Instagram photo or a Facebook photo are really the perfect place for that. You know, I like to make funny jokes, I like to watch cartoons, and I watch sci-fi, and I'm a Harry Potter freak. So a lot of times that's what's going to find its way into the captions in my photos. And that's another thing too, like you don't necessarily have to be so obvious with your captions on Instagram and Facebook, right? Like the two things together, the image and the caption, they go together to create a story, to tell a story basically. So they can be related, but I think it's kind of redundant, and I think it isn't as impactful if you only use your caption to describe something obvious that's already in the picture, okay? Like, for instance, my 4th of July picture, the last one that I put up, was there are white nails with some gold and some silver foil on them. But in Denver, the fireworks are illegal in Denver. So I said something silly like, okay, sparklers may be illegal in Denver, but these sparklies, like, you know, sparkly nails, they last longer and they're legal. It was just silly, but that is like totally my sense of humor. And the people who get that and who vibe with that, those are the people who I want in my chair, because those are the people who are going to value our relationship and my artistry, and those are the people who are going to pay me what I want to be paid, frankly. So that is what you are looking for with this whole social media marketing sort of thing for your salon. Okay, you want to attract the right people who will appreciate your work and appreciate you personally, because you are unique and special, and you totally have a full appointment book of clients just waiting to find you. And then they'll pay you for that too, okay? Because it's about you and your personality and finding the right people to pay for that, okay? The right people to appreciate it, I should say. Now, I do have a question. If you happen to not like nail art, just a question, just something to consider. Do you not like it because you just don't like it? Or is there some sort of fear around it? Because it's easy and it is very cost effective, and it's a really great way to add to your bottom line without necessarily adding to the time that you spend in your chair. I do have a blog post I posted at the beginning of the year. I was talking about goal setting, and last year I was actually able to pay my whole tax bill just from my nail art services. So, and I do not do fancy schmancy nail art. No. If you go look at my salon Instagram, it's at Studio 20 Nails, like 20 nails. They're not fancy, but all my clients love it and they all pay me for it. So it's just something to consider. I also have another blog post, the abundantnailtech.com/easyart, that talks about my favorite easy, no extra time nail art techniques, and you can get a little cheat sheet for free if you want that sent for you to print out to by your desk or something like that. A detailed little step-by-step. And also, if you do want to find some like easy, repeatable nail art techniques, the CND Master Painter class does offer a really nice chunk of time where you can hands-on kind of explore different nail art techniques. So I do have one of those coming up in Colorado in September, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be talking more about that later. And you can look on my events page as well, because I think it's already there as part of like the Grandmaster Symposium, which is the 3-day CND Grandmaster event weekend that is going on in September, but you can also register for that class separately too. And I think that's it. Let me see here. Do we have any questions? Any other questions? Any other questions that you guys would like answered on air? If not, if you happen to miss the live broadcast, I'll get the comments. So if you think of a question regarding nail protocol or the nail biz or social media like what we were talking about today, please pop it in the comments below and I'll make sure that you get an answer to your question. I will also post the links to those 2 blog posts that I was talking about and my events page where you can find the Master Painter class if you want to kind of get your hands a little bit dirty with trying really super easy and repeatable nail art that people will pay for. But if the answer to that question before is that you don't like doing nail art just because you don't like doing nail art, that's totally fine. There are still lots of people who do just Forever French liquid and powder or gel enhancements, and they rock their business and they love it and they love their clients. And if your client, your ideal client, is a classic lady who just wants a classic look with really expertly executed nail enhancements, then right on. There's totally a space for you, and do not feel like you have to change anything just because of this whole social media thing. Okay? All right. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, ask your question below, and I will make sure that you get an answer. Okay? Until next time, I will be here again next week, next Thursday, for another episode, another session of Q&A Thursday. I'm Mary Chia, Education Ambassador of the Year for CND, the world leader in nails, fashion, and beauty. And I'll see you later. Have fun.